So I have received several alto flutes for trial. I needed to trial these because my former alto flute, a Gemeinhardt model, just lived its full life and it deceased to a point where no repair could cover the cost of the instrument. It's kind of crazy because I bought it used and it served me so well. I actually really liked it. It had a silver head joint and it was really stellar in sound quality and ability, and it was lightweight in comparison to other instruments. And the way the keys were great for me because I had to have shoulder reconstruction several years ago, and bending my arm actually causes nerve entrapment. So if it's bent really tight, so having a straight head joint with keys that actually were further than most alto flutes was really great. So, but I bought a Haynes flute several years ago, and I'm totally in love with my flute, my C flute, and the Haynes company as a whole. And so when I decided to get a new alto, because I have to, I opted for some Haynes brands, and they have not been making solid silver Haynes flutes for a little while, and they told me they were going to start up again doing that. So I ordered in the Haynes Amadeus 570, the 670, and I actually got on order a vintage Haynes that was in the used market because it is a solid silver flute throughout. So one of the most important things for me right now in an alto flute, besides the quality of the instrument, of course, and the sound that it makes, is the way the flute feels for me. And so I decided, in trying these different flutes, I decided I wanted to weigh the instruments because I was holding different alto flutes and I'm like, this one feels heavier, but is it really? So the first thing I wanted to do was weigh my Haynes C flute. I love this flute. You can see it's got a fair amount of gold, which makes it a little bit heavier than your standard silver flute. It's got gold tone holes, gold lip plate, and it is a 5% infused gold flute. So I have a scale. It's just a kitchen scale, and I put my flute peg on it. I'm going to turn that on. It'll zero out, and I am going to put it on there. And my C flute is 1 pound, 2.7 ounces. So I have fitted my flute stand with an alto flute peg, and now I'm going to weigh the 3 different alto flutes. The first one I want to weigh is the Haynes Amadeus 570. So I'm going to put that on there. And the 570 Amadeus weighs 1 pound, 9.9 ounces. Okay, now I have the 670 Amadeus. I'm going to put that on there. Now the 670 Amadeus has a silver head joint. So it weighs 1 pound, 10.5 ounces. Okay. All right, now we're going to weigh this vintage Haynes, which is silver throughout, solid silver throughout. And I brought this flute in from Flute Specialists. And I am going to put that on. And this one is 1 pound, 9.7 ounces. So out of the 3 flutes, the vintage Haynes is the lightest weight.